Welcome to the Home Loan Hub, your ultimate guide to mastering the world of home loans and property. I'm Zibunisa Olimova, here to simplify the complexities of real estate and provide you with expert insights and the latest trends. Whether you're a first-home buyer, an experienced investor, or simply curious about the property market, this podcast is for you. Join me each week as we unlock the secrets to property success and help you make informed decisions. Let's dive into the world of property together. Today, I am joined by Miss Beautiful Lorraine Pedersen.
Thank you for the intro.
Lorraine, thank you so much for joining me. Can you please tell our listeners a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what are you doing here today?
How much time have you got? Okay, so originally I'm born in Switzerland. My parents moved to South Africa when I was about 4. And then, with the country going the way it was, we decided let's rather move to a safer place for our kids. So we decided on New Zealand, obviously. It's one of the nicest countries to go to. And so I've been here 4 years now.
Wow, 4 years. So you obviously came here with your husband?
Yes, I came with my husband and my 2 kids.
Husband and 2 kids. Lovely. Yeah. Is he South African or?
Yeah, so he's South African. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in South Africa, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So how many languages do you speak?
3. 3.
What are they?
English, Afrikaans, and French.
Oh, what? You speak French?
Yes.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Okay. And how are you finding New Zealand so far?
Oh, I love it here. I would never go back. The only regret that I have is that we should have done it sooner.
Yeah.
But we're here now, so making the most of it.
That's awesome. And what does your husband do?
He is a branch manager for Userbus here in Paraparaumu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And you guys obviously bought your first home. That's how I got to know you originally.
That's right.
Can you share a little bit about your journey from where you've started?
Okay. So for us coming here, the house buying process is very different to South Africa. South Africa, you pretty much go to the bank, get a loan, go see a house. There's prices on the house, number one, which is something that we found quite odd here because here it's either by negotiation, deadline sale, don't really know what the price is. So that was very daunting. So after speaking to a friend of mine, she referred me to you and said to me, well, go see Zibunisa because she's apparently the top broker.
I'll
She'll
take
have
that.
to get brownie points. And then we decided to come and see you. And you helped us from beginning to the end. You told us what all those jargons means with the real estate when it comes to like deadline sales and price by negotiation. And then, that's how we got on board with you. I thought it was impossible.
Why did you think it was impossible?
Because we had only 10% deposit, or we had a small amount for a deposit. And I thought, we'll never be able to buy a house with that. And then, it was possible. We made it happen. You made it happen.
I made it happen. Thank you. Lorraine, was that your first choice? Or did you?
No, I did go to another broker before. And I just found when I gave him my numbers, he knew I would not be at the $1 million mark when it comes to a house. Mm-hmm. And I think he was more a 800 and above kind of price range. So, and we were way under. So I think he just didn't really bother with us. I'd never got any feedback. I had 1 or 2 phone calls with him, paid him $80 for.
What? You paid him money?
Yep.
Why? Why did you pay him money?
I don't know. I thought it was a thing. I paid him $80. Apparently it's a fee.
I should have charged you.
Yeah, it was hard work. You should have.
Wow. So you paid money to this broker.
Yeah.
You had a phone call with him.
I had about 2 or 3 phone calls with him.
Okay.
And I got nowhere.
And you got nowhere?
No.
And you've been told you're not ready yet because of your small deposit?
Yeah, because of my small deposit, and also my income at the time wasn't great. So it was like, well, you need to do this and this and this and find another job, in other words. So I was like, okay, well, there goes our hope. Yeah. And then that's when my friend said, nope, go see Zibunisa.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. See, I didn't know that you went to another broker. Mm-hmm. So it's really good to hear that actually for the first time, because I just thought you came to me and, we just made it happen really fast. Because remind me, your journey was incredibly fast, wasn't it? You came to see me
January.
right after, Christmas. I remember it was in the new year.
Yeah.
And then when did you buy the house? When did you move in?
We moved in April.
Yeah, that's incredibly fast for a first-home buyer. Normally, the average cycle of a first-home buyer could be between 6 months to 2 years sometimes as they go through the journey of finding the property.
Yeah.
What made it so fast for you in your experience?
Well, I got all the information I needed out of
Me.
our meeting, out of you.
Out of a free meeting.
Out of a free meeting. I got all the information I needed.
Yeah.
And then, I just went house hunting after that because then I had an idea because, look, at the time we couldn't get pre-approved.
Yeah.
Because then they weren't doing 10% pre-approvals.
Yeah, that's right.
So we were going in as a live deal. So I just went house hunting and I was like, right, I think I found the house for us. And then, my poor husband just had to sign on the dotted line. I was like, we're buying this house and that's that. But I think the fact that I had all the information I needed, and then when I gave all my documents to you, it was easy. You just go on the porthole, upload everything, and then you would just come back and forth. Your team was great. They would be like, hey, we need this, we still need that. And so it was an easy process.
Yeah, exactly. So I think a lot of people don't realize that after having that initial discussion, if you've got the right steps and the right roadmap, right, you know where you're going.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know where you're going, where are you going to get to?
Yeah, so for me it was good because you gave us an idea of what our price range was, our purchase price. So then that's what I could work with.
Yeah.
Because before I was going in blindly going, oh, maybe I can afford $1 million house or maybe I can afford a $400 house. So that was good.
Yeah. Okay, that's really cool. What did you learn along the way of being a first-home buyer in New Zealand, buying your first property? How many offers did you put? Was it the first house that you put an offer that you won, or were there others?
No, we bought a cross lease property, which a lot of people were like, oh, cross lease, nah, never do that. Well, not never, but it's not always the best option. But so we had like the property at the back. So we number A and there was B, and we actually put an offer in on B, but the price was a bit higher. And then I don't know if you remember, the owners, because we wrote a nice letter to them.
That's right. That's one
a
of the
good
tips.
tip. Yeah,
that's one of the tips I share with my clients.
It works.
Yeah.
And they wanted us to have that house. And then he said he would keep equity in the property.
Yeah.
And then you said to me, no, because we don't know them. It would look a bit weird at the banks if we had to say, oh, but these owners want to keep equity in the property.
They can still come and use your toilet.
Yeah. And I think the banks would have been like, why? You don't even know this person. So, so because of the letter that we sent them. But unfortunately, we couldn't match the price that they wanted. So then the estate agents were actually selling both properties, the same estate agent. And then we went to the front property, which was a bit older but cheaper. And then they said to us, well, you saw what the renovations were like at the back. So you could always renovate as time goes by to do it the same way because it's a mirror image. And then we put an offer on that house and we got it.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a really cool journey. And it just shows, I guess, for people to know that sometimes the first offer
isn't always going to work. Yeah.
Yeah, and just don't lose that hope, right? Just keep going with it as you go. Sorry, losing my sound here, my ears.
It is.
That's really cool. That's really inspiring. And I think for immigrants to New Zealand coming in on a work permit, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
You come in on a work permit and then we had COVID. So the whole thing of residency also was a big issue because we didn't know if we were going to get it because they shut down everything.
Yeah.
So we were a bit in limbo for about a year before we got the opportunity to apply for residency.
Yeah. But the moment you got your residency, I think that was the conversation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think when we first met in January, I think you just got your residency or you were about to get it.
We had it in August.
Yeah, that's right. And you were really keen to buy a house. And that's what I'm finding with a lot of my immigrant clients is that they come to New Zealand and they really want to put the roots down.
Yes.
Having a house really important.
Because coming from, I don't know about other countries, but in South Africa, most people my age have owned a house or own a house. So when you come here, then you're starting with renting again. And I just thought, I don't want to pay someone else's mortgage.
Yeah.
I want to go back to paying my own mortgage. And my first home is not my forever home, but it's just my foot in the door.
And I think, and that's the vision you and I, when we sit down to see what you can actually afford, to what you actually want to have and where you want to live. I think that was a really good exercise, wasn't it? To go, hey, Lorraine, this is not your forever home.
Yeah.
Get in the market while you still can. Pay your own mortgage instead of someone else's rent.
Yeah.
And then from that property, you
Move
can
on.
leverage to buy the next one and leave this one as a good rental place if you want to. Yeah.
That's the goal. We'll see how we go.
Well, hopefully with the property prices going back up again.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Hopefully
Hopefully we can get you there. So in terms of your work and stuff, like obviously when you went to that, first mortgage broker and said, look, you're not earning much, etc., and either go and get a richer husband.
It was tempting. I was like, okay.
And I guess that's why, your husband
was... Why can I? There's a few.
And I guess that's why your husband was happy to sign on the dotted line really fast. So I
gave him an ultimatum.
Yeah, so you don't go and find a richer husband. But how did you find that journey? Like, how good are you with money? Because that's what I'm trying to get to. How good are people with money these days?
I must
even
say,
on limited income.
The fact that the deposit was there was actually very tempting to use. I had to use it a bit for my dog. I don't know if you remember, I had to take her eye out. Anyway, so we use a bit of that. But it's tempting to have a deposit or that amount of cash around. And I am good with money. But when it's there, it's like, let's just spend it on this and we'll put it back. And then you don't end up putting it back. So that was why I wanted to buy a house, because then it's in the house and I can't touch it. And done.
Yeah.
So things like Afterpay, credit cards. Well, we didn't have credit cards, but we had Afterpay.
Did you?
Yeah. So we closed all that down. I've never opened it again.
Yeah. Why did you get an Afterpay in the first place?
Oh, because it was tempting. It was like, I can pay this off and I can buy this and I can pay that. And then it starts adding up and then you start going, whoa, there's a lot of stuff that now suddenly I have to pay every week or every 2 weeks, whenever it is.
Yeah.
So I decided, I'm not doing that ever again. If I want to buy something, I need to have the money for it.
Save for it.
Yeah.
Aye. Have you got a budget in place?
I do. The budget is tight at the moment because when we went in, we had a bit of a higher interest rate, and also because we were only 10% deposit.
Yeah,
so
you got punished.
We got punished. But it's okay. Next year, we're refixing and the rates will go down. So a couple more months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So not much wine drinking at the moment.
Yeah, like my husband always says, no more wine. And then he comes home with wine. So I'm like, whatever.
I think he's a very smart, wise man, to be honest, Lorraine. I think he's figured out happy wife, happy life.
Yes, there we go.
So, and he's figured out what keeps his wife happy.
Yep. He knows a bottle of wine will make me happy. So there you go. Even my kids know that. So
what saving tips you may have for someone that's trying at the moment to save money for the house or for the renovations? What have you found that helps you to save money?
Oh, just really being cautious of what you're spending your money on. Like, do you really need to have that top or that pair of jeans, labeled jeans? You can go to the op shop and buy labeled jeans for $2, So it's like, just think, like, do I have to have this now? Yeah. Is it something I need in my life or is it something I want in my life?
Yeah.
Which is, I'm a big culprit for that. It's like, I want it. So, but I will only want it I will only get it if I can afford it.
Yeah.
That's how I think now. That's how because now I've got a mortgage, so my mortgage is priority. Everything else takes a back step.
Mm-hmm. So you had that mind shift, right, since purchasing a house.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sort of encouraged you to get even better with money than you were before. And just to draw a comparison between New Zealand and South Africa, have you got Afterpays in South Africa as well? How common is that?
No, we don't have Afterpay. I don't know if it's something that's happened now, but I've never had something like that, or lay-bys, and that's why it's all new to me. That's why I was like, oh, this is very tempting.
Yeah, and it is, right? I mean, I was a culprit myself. I mean, I had Afterpay back in the day. I think even back in the day when I was working in the bank, I remember I needed to buy a piece of furniture for my kids, and it popped up to me that I could pay it off in 8 installments. Yeah. And I didn't want to tell my husband at the time how much it cost.
Interest-free. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said, how much it cost? I said, $50. 8 times
every
later.
2 weeks.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of people tempted for certain things to get it now versus save for it and wait for it.
Yeah, exactly. So rather save, put it aside. You can always get that later. Like, those things are not It's just furniture. It's just material stuff. It's not important.
And the other thing is I find people forget often about is the skills they have and how they can use their extra skills to make extra money.
Selling stuff that you don't need. That's what we've done.
Yeah.
We still sell every day. I'm like, what can I sell? I need to get this. Let's sell that. So that's how I work now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And in terms of side hustles, are you doing any side hustles as well?
Well, yes. I've got 2 jobs at the moment. And then my husband's also trying to, weekend work or whatever we can do, especially now because the economy's been quite tough. So any side hustles or anything you can do to just bring in extra income, always great.
Yeah. And that's the thing, I think sometimes, again, people don't realize you have to sacrifice. Like, if you want to keep up with the Joneses.
But that's the thing. Don't keep up with the Joneses. Just keep up with yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to prove anything to anyone. The one thing I do find is that the Kiwis are quite humble in that way. Like they're not really, this guy's got that car, I'm going to get the same car. I want that car. I find that no one really bothers that much about it.
Is it different in South Africa?
Very much so. Yeah. It is very much keeping up with the Joneses.
That whole culture of keeping up the appearances, right?
Yes.
Looking rich and acting rich.
My dad always said to me, yeah, great, he might have a big house and a big car, but it all belongs to the bank, So, it's a different culture. I didn't grow up like that because my parents are European. So it's also like here where people don't really worry what car or house you have. They're happy for you. Whereas I find in South Africa, it's a bit of enviness. So it was nice to come here and go, well, people don't really care if you've got the smallest house in the block.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not important. Yeah.
And that's the thing, just now that you mentioned the house, it reminded me with the cross leases. Often, as you said, people are scared to buy the cross lease because of the title issues and stuff like that. And it just sprang back to my memory. I think you had a bit of a title issue there as well. I think there was something to do with conservatory.
No, so the house at the back that we wanted had an extra garage built on the flats plan. So it like messes up the flats. Is that the right word? Messes up the flats plan. And I remember I phoned the council and asked them about it, and they said it was built before a certain period. I can't remember the date, but before a certain year. So it's okay because the 2 owners of the properties had agreed on it. So if you've got a great neighbor like I do, so I'm lucky, and you can go to them and say, hey, I want to do this. Do you agree with it? As long as you've got an agreement between the 2 of you in paper or in writing or whatever, then that's like, it's a pass, it's a tick, it doesn't have to be pass with council and go through
sometimes,
all the paperwork.
Yeah. But again,
it depends what it is.
Yeah,
though.
Again,
if it's
depends.
a little, like a little deck that you want to build or something like that.
Yeah. And I think, and that's what worries people sometimes, is that with the cross leases, you do have to have that neighbor permission, etc. So obviously we don't want to give out any financial advice out there to people because it's all very generic information. But for those that are scared of cross leases for that reason, there is a way to overcome those things as well, I guess.
We've got no issues with we've got a good neighbor, and I think that's important to have a good neighbor. Choose your neighbors wisely.
Choose your neighbors wisely.
Go to if you like a house, I would always say go in the evenings or go on the weekends and see what it's like around the neighborhood and the neighbors and see,
Are there any parties going on Friday nights, Saturday nights?
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that because that's usually the tip I share with my clients is that don't just go to open home because most of the open homes during the day.
Yeah, and it's always pretty and everything's perfect.
And usually it's all clean, the grass is mowed.
Exactly.
For the open home.
Exactly.
But then, if you go there on other times as well.
Well, I went to go look at a property in Parapara, and the neighbor, and I said to the estate agent, I said to him, because it was a stunning house, but the neighbor next door had been there for years, and he's, I don't know, I think he found material wherever on sites, and then he would just build onto his house. So it looked a little bit hectic. And then he had his music blasting, and he was just him on his own in the garage. I don't know what he was doing. And I said to the real estate agent, have you not spoken to the guy? Because surely this chases away potential buyers.
Yeah.
And he's like, they have, but he's just like, nah, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't want this house. Thank you. I enjoy a party, but not like that.
Not like that, not every day.
No.
That's amazing. So if you were to share any more words of wisdom, and I mean, we've covered some really cool stuff here, what else would you advise someone listening in, wanting to get on the ladder, but doesn't know where to start?
Just firstly to phone you.
Thank you.
Just to get a mortgage broker, because people always say, I can just go to the banks.
Yeah.
But the banks, you're also limited because then you go to one bank and that's it. Whereas with you, the tip that I would say is go to a mortgage broker. A mortgage broker can look at your scenario and be like, this is where you're at, or this is where you need to be, and this is how we're going to get you there. And that's my tip. And save. Just save, put as much money away for a deposit. The better the deposit, the better the interest rates as well.
Yeah. And obviously have a job or some sort of stable income.
Stable income, have a stable income, and just try and live, what's the word? Just try and live simple.
Yeah, within your means.
Yeah, within your means.
Yeah, that's incredible. And in terms of your future goals, where do you see yourself going? What's your plan for the future?
Well, I would like to have a couple of investment properties. That's my plan. I like to have at least 2 investment properties and then our own home. Yeah, that's my goal. So,
and with the investing, do you want to stick around Kapiti or do you?
It depends. We could have maybe a little batch somewhere else and then rent that out and then always use that maybe on holidays or something like that. I don't know.
Queenstown?
Oh.
Should we go to Queenstown?
Let's go to Queenstown. Yes, please.
Well, the other good one could be around, Taihape National Park, that sort of Taupo way. Because then you could go there in summer and winter.
There you go.
Winter you could go skiing. Because being from, I guess, your roots, European, Switzerland,
the
ski country.
Apparently I could ski when I was little, but I don't know. But we went to Queenstown on holiday for a weekend and I snowboarded for the first time and it was amazing. I was like, my Swiss roots are there. I can snowboard.
You can snowboard. I've never tried snowboarding before.
It's great.
This is something on my bucket list that I really, really want to try.
Okay.
So maybe let's go house hunting. We'll just tell your husband we're going house hunting.
We're just going to go look.
We're not buying anything.
Window shopping.
I go snowboarding. Snowboarding. I love it. So can you tell me a little bit about what sort of other stuff do you do in your spare time? What are your interests?
I gym. So I go to the gym every day. That's my only hour that I have to myself. I have quite a busy job. I see a lot of different people every day. So it's quite mentally draining. And then I have kids and a dog and a husband and a life. So so my downtime is the gym. That's what I love to do. And I if someone tries to interfere with that, I get really mad.
I hope your husband is listening to this.
Yeah,
and
he knows.
I hope he knows now. That's why I guess he turns up with wine. He's like,
yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
It's my time. Yeah. So that's my hobby, I guess.
Yeah. Because again, what I've noticed through my life in dealing with people is that healthy body, healthy mind relationship, where if you can allocate that time for yourself, to do things for yourself, to fill your own cup.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to a lot of busy mums out there at the moment, and they, solo parents, whether they're in relationship. I find one thing that we, as mums, collectively really bad at is putting that time back into ourselves.
Exactly. We don't give enough credit to ourselves.
Yeah. We tend to look after everyone else.
Yeah. And then no time for us. And then we're the ones that end up deteriorating, and then the family falls apart if we fall apart,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's important. You have to make time for yourself. Whatever it is.
Well, yeah.
Whatever it is.
My mind just took me places.
Yeah, I saw your brain going.
Whatever it is. We'll share what hobbies I do in the next episode. Stay tuned for that. But in terms of that, I totally agree. I mean, obviously, I've got 4 children and I've got a dog as well now. And now it is hectic. It is, in dealing with people and dealing with people's stresses. I find mental health in New Zealand, this is something that we really need to watch out for. And because I also do insurances for clients, I come across a lot of clients that are suffering from mental health issues. And the doctors are really quick here to just give out antidepressants instead of trying to work with the cause of the issue. And most of the time the cause is because we're just not looking after ourselves enough.
Exactly.
Not taking that time when we need to.
Yeah, and I think we as women maybe find it that we feel guilty if we do.
Yeah.
And I think that's just why.
So how can we overcome that, Lorraine? Come on, let's find a solution.
I think it's maybe a generation thing where back in the day the woman, stays at home, looks after the kids, and the husband works. And maybe now that we working women, we can share the load. Like the husband or the partner must also do the housework or whatever. It's not just always the woman.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And is your husband quite helpful?
He better be.
No wonder you're gymming.
Yeah, okay. No, he is, yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well, isn't it? Because, traditionally I'm from a country where the roles are very assigned, so to speak. We've got males that go to work and then they come home, and if they help out, they help out. If not, there's nothing expected of a man to do. And that was partly the reason why I never wanted to marry someone from my country, because I didn't want to fall into that, traditional role of being a submissive wife, doing everything and not having a helpful partner on the side, because I feel we live in a world where you do need two incomes to survive financially.
Absolutely.
You do need to support each other in that sense. So it's really cool to see in New Zealand that there are a lot of partners and a lot of families from Europe. They come, and partners don't blink an eye of hanging out the washing and doing the dishes and mopping the floors. Just picking up where, it needs to be done, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They just need a little bit of coaching and being like, hey, you see that pile of washing there? It's not there for fun.
It's got your name. It's got your name on it.
Yeah.
I love it. And that's something I do with my children as well. A lot of people complain that, I don't have the time for cleaning because I'm a busy mom, I've got this kids. Use your children.
Yeah.
Seriously, they live in your house for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Make them contribute. Back to the society. My 4-year-old, without bragging, she's incredible at folding.
Oh, wow. I'm going to hire her.
Yeah, honestly, you can have Zara anytime. But,
awesome.
She loves it. She loves being helpful. Kids love being helpful because as humans, we all have the same need. We all want to be loved. We all want to be needed. It's nice to feel wanted.
Exactly.
Right? And the kids are no different. So all my kids have different roles, and they know in order to get technology time, they have to go and, sort out the pile of washing, for instance, before they can sit down and watch TV for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Do your kids contribute to the household?
My daughter's very good. I think she's a bit like me in that way. She just, let's just get it done, otherwise it just stands there. Whereas my son can be a little bit more, but in his room himself, he's actually quite tidy and he's always cleaning up. And so in his own space, he's very much like that. Yeah. So I'll just leave him for that for now.
Yeah. And that's a good thing, right? And and that's my point to the people that saying, can't afford a cleaner. Don't need to. Use your children if you have to. It's nice to have a cleaner. I'd love to have one as well. But, there are times when you're like, you have to sometimes clean before the cleaner arrives as well. So.
Or after the cleaner.
Been there, yes. When we were moving from one house to another, and we asked the cleaners to come and clean for us because I've just had a baby at the time.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think I had them to come back to clean because they've missed so much.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, just... try to find ways to save money, I guess. And
I clean my own house and I don't often have the time, but I just go, okay, I've got 10 minutes now. We'll quickly do it. That's all you need, a quick vacuum, wipe down the counters. You don't have to do a spring clean every time.
No. And one tip I'll share with the new mums, if they're listening, my eldest son, he loved falling asleep to the white noise of the vacuum cleaner. So I'll put him in his cot and I'll go around vacuuming because he would fall asleep to that noise.
Nice.
And that was a great win-win for both of us, because as I'm trying to put him to sleep, I'll vacuum the house at the same time. It was really cool because he would only fall asleep if I was walking or if I was vacuuming. So I was very fit and I had a very clean house. I can imagine. After having my first child, he's definitely put me through the ringer, that one. But yeah, that's the thing. So Lorraine, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on today. Thank you for sharing this.
Pleasure.
You know, the true, honest think about the raw. You know, your experience really, because there'll be so many people in the same boat as you, moving to New Zealand. You know, finding how to even buy a house. And
it's a daunting task when you don't know where to start.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I can't wait to see where your journey takes you. And I would love to have you
you're going to be with me all along, so.
We're not together forever. I love it.
In it together.
We're in it together. So, no, absolute pleasure to have you today. Thank you so much. And have a wonderful year ahead.
Yeah, you too.
All
the best.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into the Home Loan Hub. I hope you found today's episode insightful and full of valuable tips to help you on the property journey. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on all things real estate and the property ladder. If you enjoyed the show, leave a review and share it with others who might benefit as well. Keep an eye out for the next episode where we'll continue to reveal strategies for property success. Until then, keep making savvy decisions and unlocking your property potential.